The swirl of a sensational news story can obscure real human impacts. Ferris here. For business founders, this may be the time you're called upon to demonstrate resourcefulness and exceptional leadership. Even with the FDIC intervention guaranteeing that all depositors will have access to their funds, and even if your business was not directly impacted, all of us got a big reminder that a crisis could happen at a moment's notice and that we have to be prepared. We don't have to look back too far for a crisis that caused many industries to respond, and that was worldwide. Just 3 years ago, around this time in March 2020, we were witnessing what seemed like science fiction. Schools shuttered, bustling cities were emptied of pedestrians and cars, and many sections of the economy upended. If we go back a little further, the bursting of the tech bubble in the late 90s, the attacks on September 11, 2001, and the mortgage fiasco that started boiling over in 2007, tragic and costly as they were, can serve as precedents and provide lessons for how we may be able to navigate the Silicon Valley bank crisis. In October 2013, an impasse in federal budget talks prompted the US government to halt contracts and furlough their employees. While the economic impacts of this were not as widespread as for the crisis referenced above, it posed a great challenge to one of my consulting companies that depended significantly on government contracts. While the current SVB crisis may affect technology products more broadly, consulting companies also face 3 potential impacts in any combination. Your own company's money is tied up, your client's money is tied up, impacting their ability to pay invoices, and a company whose product or platform you sell, implement, or support is compromised financially, putting their viability at risk. Fortunately, my consulting company was able to get past that difficult stretch when the government contracts became uncertain. The following is the basic 5A framework that helped us make it through. It's not a formal procedure, but offered as a guideline to help business leaders and founders navigate and prioritize actions to take in a crisis. Assemble, assess, acknowledge, act, and announce. Let's go over these one by one. Assess impacts as objectively as possible. Your financial resources that you have at your immediate disposal or other financial resources you have access to. Acknowledge that it won't be business as usual, at least not in the near term. Acknowledge meaningful steps that you can take, an aspect of the situation that you don't have control over. Act, and act quickly. And last, announce internally, externally, and frequently, and let your team know that you're there to support them. The act step above, of course, refers to ensuring cash flow. If any of your business accounts have been affected by the SVP meltdown and you can't readily access other business funds, you may have to take one or more of the following actions, at least in the short term. Dip into your personal savings. Inquire about increasing credit line limits. Apply for another credit line with another financial institution. Ask for a bridge loan from investors. Ask clients, especially those who've been with you for a long time and there's a lot of goodwill, ask them to pay your invoices early. Ask vendors for delayed payment. Seek out any public or private sector grants that might be available. And if necessary, institute furloughs, weeks without pay, reduced work week, or salary reductions. On the last bullet above, make sure you consult with your legal team and your HR team to make sure any action you take follows the legal guidelines. In the early stages of one of my companies, I had to pull funds from my 401k plan to make payroll. It was not an easy decision. I had to check with my wife and get her buy-in, but at the end, I ended up doing what preserved the business. I'm not recommending you make this decision lightly. Do consult with your family members, but at the end of the day, if you have a good thing going, you have an amazing team, you have an amazing venture, you have a path to profitability and growth, it's probably worth risking some personal funds to ensure that that business is back on track, to make sure it's surviving and thriving. When you're a business leader, a crisis is no time to avoid or isolate. Staying in touch, grounded, and even politically active is key in this time. Reach out to family, friends, partners, and customers. Keep them informed and graciously accept any form of support, advice, or general goodwill that they'll offer. Draw upon mindfulness, spirituality, or any other practice that can provide solace and perspective. Regardless of your political inclination, this may be the time to find other like-minded individuals and advocate at the local level, the state level, and the federal level to ensure that businesses like yours, responsible businesses like yours, and their employees can get supported in a crisis that they had nothing to do with it. And I'm definitely not advocating to underwrite bonuses for executives whose heedlessness and greed push their companies off cliffs. We're advocating for responsible companies to ask for help when a crisis hit them without any fault of their own. If your own business has been largely dependent on another company, such as in a reseller or product arrangement, consider diversifying. As the saying goes, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Same thing for your company's finances. Consider breaking up your business accounts with more than one bank. And finally, more communication. More communication, more frequently, internally and externally, as well as more flexible approach to your business model and operations. All of that can be key to making it through a current crisis and building up smart contingency plans for the future. As has been the case with similar crises, FDIC is expected to give access to insured deposits, and it sounds like deposits exceeding insurance levels will be protected as well. If another financial entity steps in to take over Silicon Valley Bank, this could provide depositors with further assurance. If this plays out differently and impacted companies can't readily make payroll, company leaders may have to resort to some of the measures outlined above. Over the next days and weeks, I hope to provide additional guidance for business founders and leaders who may be caught in this storm. For right now, I offer my best wishes for fortitude. With your team, be truthful with a reasonable sense of optimism, especially about long-term, big-picture prospects. Know that this too shall pass. Feel free to reach out directly to me with any questions that you have if you think I can be of help. If you're finding these tips helpful, please like this video and subscribe to this channel or add a comment on YouTube. And check out startupwithferris.com to access more resources and to learn how you can give back at any stage of your startup journey.